Alright, so nothing from me again this time around, but Craig's got another update for us on the old patina wagon. He's been doing some great work on it. Won't be long till she's on the road, I reckon. Let's check it out.
Alright, back into it. So I wasn't very happy with the condition of the other floor that I had cut out. It was going to require a bit more work. It's repairable, but more time than what I really had to get this done. So I went and sourced another one out of a wreck that I have. So we've cut it out. We'll trim this one down and we'll get into fitting here, and we'll start spotting it into place. Okay, so we've got it all cleaned up, ready for some KBS rust seal. So we'll give it a lather with that, let it dry, and then we'll weld them into place. Okay, so we're all fitted in. That did take quite a while and a lot of removing the panel in and out to get it to sit in there, and in order to keep Coops' channel G-rated, I did not film the process, but it's in there. We'll tack it in and go from there. Rightio, back into it. Gave the inside of the chassis another coat just to help protect it a bit. And we'll weld this floor pan into place. I'll get it tacked into place today. And this is the floor pan after we've given it a coat. Bit of a scratch there. I'll touch that up after from me fitting it prior. Righto. Okay, so floor's in. I've got it tacked in. Takes a fair bit of time. It's all pretty good. I will have to change the wire back to a 0.9 because it's not hot enough for the penetrating the chassis and the floor spot welds. That's just for anyone who's having a crack or doing it themselves and want to know what size wire I'm using. So 0.6 for the body panels, and I'll go back to like a 0.9. 0.8 would be enough, but 0.9 for the spot welds on the chassis. Again, this is the way I do it. If someone else does it a different way, that's cool. It's just the way I do it. So we're all tacked in. We'll go around, clean all them up. Any little pinholes or something that I've missed that I can't see yet will stand out. We'll fix them up. I'll change the wire over, and then we'll plug weld it in, give the floor another clean up, and then rust proof it and paint it. Then we'll move on to the outer sill. So all cleaned up. Some spots are a bit hard to get at. I don't have a small enough DA to get into those little spots, but it's all going to be covered up. So that's our second-hand floor pan in. I'll change the wire over now and we'll get these spot welds done as well. So we're spotting the floor pan back in. I find doing it's easier when you use the copper weld throughs, or it's all I use, but maybe other ones as well, but they're generally not the best when you weld through them. I find you get a lot of spatter off it. It could be me, I'm not a panel beater, maybe I'm putting it on too thick, maybe I'm not putting enough, maybe it's just the way it is. But I find it best if you give it a hit with a spot weld drill bit. So I've gone through and just tip the ends of these just so you can get a nice bit of clean metal, and then I generally give them a spot in say 3 tacks. I'm using 0.9 wire, I find it gets pretty good. Took me a little bit to get it set up on this. Then we go through and clean the welds up. Some of the spots aren't ideal, but we'll fix them up. Alright, so we're all spotted in. I've got to say, I'm not a big fan of weld through primers directly under the spot weld. Doesn't say not to do it, but I just find it gives a very spattery weld. I find the spot welds are really hard. You need a lot of cleaning up, as you can see here, and I've got the welder set pretty hot to burn through it. Like, if I was to be doing a plenum, I would not be using a weld through primer directly under the spot weld. I'd use a primer around it, but if you're trying to replicate that factory spot weld look, I don't recommend it. We'll give these a go. That's even with a bit of cleanup, but some sit down all right. Others, you know, it's just, I think it's pretty shit to try to weld through. My honest opinion. Anyway, we'll keep going. We'll clean it up. Shows the end result. So I've cleaned all the welds up. Again, not real impressed with some of the weld through primers in spots. You just get a lot of spatter out of it. But anyway, if someone knows what that problem is, then hey, post a comment. So cleaned up. We'll give it a hit with the orbital, and I'll give it a coat of just a KBS rust seal. That'll do it. The outside here, we've just given it a blast with some Transstar, gets 4306. Yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Works with 2K as well. Anyway, we'll get these bottoms on, hopefully now to Sill on in the next couple of days. So we ended up having a bit of a change of plan. The other Sill, I really just could not get it to fit to the point where I was happy. When I run a straight edge along it, it was out, and sort of managed to work out why. By the way, I'm not a panel beater, so if anyone else already knew this, cools, but those who don't want to attempt it, the Sill panels taper back towards the rear, but they taper from about here. It is a little bit hard to see, but once you see if we can get it on that, once you sort of notice it, it does sort of stand out a bit. But I missed it, and the Sill panels, that I don't know if all of them are the same, but the ones I got, they're actually folded to this end here, which I think's like 2 centimeters or something, thereabouts. Hang on, do this. It's like two. Oh, you have a look. Nearly 2.5. But when you go back here, it starts to taper back, and it does not line up with the rest. So here we are at the rear. So we're looking at, 5 mil, maybe a little bit more, give or take, by the time I get the bottom all pulled in, which I haven't got yet. So there's your difference. But anyway, excuse the mess while I'm going. So floor pan's in. I've already given it a coat of the KBS rust seal. That's all in, happy with that. Redoing this obviously. So I'll pull that off. I'll KBS coat all in under there. So this is a second-hand Sill that I unpicked off another wreck that I had. It does have a bit of rust in it. We'll treat that. Like, I'll cut some of these out. This one here, I'll probably cut that. And here I will use some sections that I'll cut out of that other Sill, the replacement one I got, and I'll make this bit here, and I'll plate up this piece in here, the support panel in here. It's got a few little holes in it, and we'll plate that up. And yeah, hopefully we'll get it on, and then we can get the engine in this thing. Radio, carry on. Okay, so we're tacked in here. I had to actually change this little bit of a section here only because it was rusted out on the car that I got it off. So I used the one that was actually off this, which was still good. This is off another car that I had. What I do when I spot them up, I'd rather than grind them flat, because sometimes when you grind them, it's hard to see where you've missed with your spot welds. So I just hit them with a wire wheel, and it makes them nice and shiny, and it's just easier to spot if you've missed a little gap or something like that, or a little pinhole. That's just a bit of spatter. Makes it easier to see. And then we go down here, and nice little gap here. We'll mig that up. I'll just give that a bit of a tap and get that back up flush. It's only tiny, you could probably get away with it, but I want to try to get it right. Then we go along here and spot that up, and I'll take it off as one piece. Check it all out. If I've got to recoat anything from behind that's sort of burnt in the welds, I will. And then I will weld it all on, all the way up to here, to the end of the section there. And then I will take out this rust, so that way once it's in spot, I'm going to have less chance of it twisting and moving on me. So it should all line back up. Rightio, get into it again. Rightio, so tacked up. It's lined up pretty good. We'll go through and join all them up. We'll give it a hit with a wire wheel, see if we need to go over it again. And then clean it up. And then we'll fit it on the car. So while I had it off, there's a couple of, from the other side, there's a couple of sort of deeper rust pits, and I just hit them with a little hit with a drill, and then fill them with weld. If you get one of these things, if I haven't already buried it in my repertoire of shit, alright, or mess, get yourself one of these. I can't remember who the hell I bought it off, but that's the part number. Really good. Put them on, clamp them down, and then you can weld through and less likely to blow holes through stuff. So that's all welded from the inside. Give them a clean up, and then we'll attack this mess. Rightio. Rightio, so we're all tacked up. Now I'm just going to give it a bit of a hit with the wire wheel, clean the welds up. Show you again. If I doubled up on anything, I've been filming this over a course of a couple of weeks, so I can't remember everything that may have touched base on, but anyway, that's the way it is. So there we are, wire wheeled. You can see it cleans it up, and if you miss any little spots, it shows up a lot easier, as I was saying before, than hitting it with a grinder straight away. Just sort of shines it up a bit. Anyway, we're going to clean that up now, hit it with a 36 grit disc, and then I will finish it with an 80 grit disc. Right, so that's all joined up. Just hit it with a DA, and we'll get this finish the joint off here when I get it on the car, and all spot weld on. I'm going to give it a coat of KBS rust seal on the inside now. Let it dry overnight, and probably attack it again in the morning, and hopefully I can get it all spotted on and move on to something else, like attacking this stuff. Rightio. Here we are, kicking back, about to put the sill on now, so it's all been sealed in. I didn't really care about a few run marks in there because it's on the inside. As you can see there, I did cake it on. Seals up well. It's good stuff, hard. It's probably still not fully cured yet, but it'll right. And then when I get it on, we'll slice this piece and that out here, and I'll work out how I'm going to attack that. But we'll post that up as well. Rightio, let's get into it. Sill top's all on now. Spotted him up. We'll continue like before, join them up, and then clean them back. And we'll work on getting the bottom all sorted as well, and then move on to cutting that section out here, and then making up another piece with this bit here and plating that up as well. Cool.
So how's that? Bit more quality work from the lad, eh? He's doing a great job. Thanks, Craig. Really appreciate your time, mate. You're yeah, putting in a big effort for the channel, mate. That's awesome. Thank you very much. And I'm sure everyone's enjoying it too. You're a knowledgeable man and you're sharing it. So it's awesome, mate. Thank you. Anyway, so that was it. The old patina wagon. She's looking better and better by the minute. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, share it around, and have a good one. Cheers.